Good evening, this is Melissa with thestockswoosh.com, and tonight I am reviewing a trade that was a gap down from last week, and boy, this is ARO. Okay, that's the name of the chart. This is a daily chart. When stuff happens like this gap on, this is Thursday and Friday, okay, I just say to myself, you know, Melissa, conviction. All right, what happened with this thing? Now I'm gonna go over both the days. This is Thursday and Friday. Thursday, the stock gap down. I'll go over the play that I did in this on Thursday. Did not have a follow through as a short on Thursday. Turned around and flipped. All right, I was up money in this tiny dinky tail down here. I'm going to show you in a minute. But the point is, it didn't work right on the day. Had a whole big conversation in my trading room about this failure on the day of this stock, of the gap. Okay, had a huge conversation about the whole thing. The stock rallied up to resistance here at 1335 and 1333. That's what it did. I mean, look at how perfect that is, actually, right there. That's all that it did on this day. Now, you can say the gap failed on the day, which it did to play intraday as a short. There was a little bit of money to be made down here, and I'll go over in a minute. But the point was, there was a big discussion in my room, and everybody said that this was, you know, going to turn around and rally up, that it was a long, and I was disagreeing with the people. And some people pointed out to me that they thought this wasn't a short on the day because they looked at this as a double bottom or triple bottom here. Here's the thing. I don't see it that way. And let me tell you why. This is not an exact number. 1212, 1176, and 1191. Now, remember, things are areas. Okay, like this is an area of resistance. This is an area of resistance. These numbers don't have to be exact. But on a double bottom, on a triple bottom, which actually there really is no thing as a triple bottom. Forget the triple bottom. You know, triple bottoms are nothing. Triple bottoms break. When something hits something and hits something and hits something the third time, it's going to slice right through it. Triple bottoms have zero significance to me as far as holding themselves like a board. I talk about this in the class I teach, like a flat board. Imagine this is a flat board that is impossible to break, and it's going to hold this sturdy for the rest of its life. That's not what I see here. The numbers aren't exact, and in fact, they're nowhere near each other, all right? And a triple bottom is nothing. A triple bottom will break, okay? In fact, a triple bottom is a break. And if it doesn't break it on the third try, it's going to break it on the fourth try, but it usually breaks it on the third try, if I have to be honest with you. And this is across the board. This is intraday, this is on smaller time frames, this is daily, this is everything, okay? All right, so let's get back to this. So, first of all, I didn't see this as a double bottom because the numbers are too different. Second of all, I knew that the stock was lower. Now, how did I know that? Am I some kind of, you know, psychic or something? Sometimes I think I am. But it's really the rating system. It's the 26 Golden Gap Point rating system that I use, and I rated this gap in the morning on the gap, and it rated well. And I tried to play it out on the day. It didn't work, okay? I got out of it fine, though, before it did this crazy thing, and I'll show it to you. But the next day it worked, and I was all over this thing and made money in it Friday as a short. And the people in my room saw what happened then that were discussing this from the next day, and what can I say, okay? This 26 points that I figured out, this stuff is good. It's like gold. That's how I came up with the name of it. That's how I was talking to my friends about it. I was constantly saying it's like gold, and that was how I came up with the name of the rating system, because it's like gold. Because it tells you the overall trend of the stock, what it's doing. It's a confirmation that the gap is good, that the gap is going to follow through in the daily chart in the direction that we're playing it, which is down. And even when they flip on the day that they do, they follow the next day. They follow the next day, okay? And I grabbed this thing at a better price on nobody else. And I'm going to go over that too, all right? This chart is beautiful. This chart is lower. This chart is setting up, and it's going to break that green bar, and the target's $11, all right? So, okay, first target has to be $11.66, but really this is going to see $11 in the next week, all right? So looking for a nice, another big, nice red day here. The market rested today, so did this. And the stock also had two huge moves a day. This stock is exhausted. So the fact is, this traded this way today because of the market was a doji bar too, but the stock is absolutely spent. It's exhausted. It took so much energy to rally up to this resistance on Thursday, and then it took a lot of energy to fall. Then on Friday, this thing is exhausted and it has to rest, and that's all that it did today. The stock is lower. All right. Now let's go to the day, which was Thursday, which was the 10th. All right. Let's look at the play in the morning of the 10th. This was the actual day of the gap. All right. Okay, here we go. So here's this thing. Now, I was aware, okay, of the area that it was opening in the morning, and I discussed it in the room. I said I wanted to see it rally first. There's nothing to do here. There's nothing to do here. There's no entry. There's no entry. The entry would have been under 12 if it triggered. It never triggered, never triggered, never triggered. 11.99 did this. Never. There was nothing to do here. You sit, wait, okay? After this blow up here, it held under 12.20, which was a number, all right? I could have taken it right here, but I didn't because it did this bar. I want to see it settle down a little bit. Settle down. Here's the entry, okay? You're in. We got the drop in here. Now, because it dropped down to the low of the day, I said, great, this thing's going to go. And then it tried to break a new low here and couldn't do it. Did this topping tail here. I gave it every chance in the world to continue down here. As soon as it did this topping tail, I lowered my stop over 12 and then got out of it over here. Then it went through my stop. So I protected myself in here completely 100% before this blow up happened and this crazy thing here. If you put your stop over the day, you got hurt in this. All right. So I played it real tight. I always play that way in the morning on gaps. The gaps should go in the morning before 10 o'clock. And if they don't, it's a problem. They're not going to work right. Okay. Now, there was no reason for me to exit this thing at 11.91. Okay, it should have had follow through. 11.91 wasn't a number, which is why it will break it, okay, soon here. But it didn't do it on the day of the gap. And then after that, as soon as it did this, I'm completely saying to myself, you know, what happened here? Okay, why isn't this thing working? Is there a problem? You know, what is the deal with it? Okay? But at a certain point, you just have to say to yourself, I know this should go in the morning, and it really should follow through, and then it didn't do it. I even watched it then in the 15-minute. Let's go over here to the 15-minute. Even watched it on the 15-minute chart here. Here. I'm watching this thing here, really watching it to start to go. What is it going to do here? Is it going to do anything? Is it going to have some follow through? And, you know, it actually looked like it might be fixing itself right in here because the held up here at the high of the day. All right, at one point I said, fine, maybe this is finally going to fix itself and work. And then it doesn't do it. Just can't even have 3 red bars down. And as this continues to go over the high of the day and over the high of the day, you have to be off of it. Okay, you have to be off of it. At some point, you just have to say, fine, you know, the thing is not going to work. All right. And really, when I saw this bar on Thursday night and I saw it go within 2 pennies of this number over here on the 4th and the resistance area, I had a lot of conviction this is going to work the next day. So I got up the next morning. I saw where this is gapping. The 20s, it was gapping under the 20. It squished down on top of it. I love the way that this rallied right up to a number here within 2 cents. And I was all over this in the morning then on the 11th. On top of that, I thought I had the market with me on Friday too, which gives me more conviction to enter this thing as a continuation gap. It's a continuation play. That's what it is. So this is what happened then on Friday morning. Here's what I did. Took it right here. Took it right here at 13.02. Didn't even have time to put my stop over the high of the day, so I let it do this. I just let it. I just let it be. As soon as it settled itself right here, okay, I put the stop here over 13.10 and I was in it. Tried to get more, got a dinky amount more, okay, but didn't even get everything I wanted on this thing. For some reason, I don't know why I wasn't getting the fills that I wanted. I don't know if it was just hard to get or what the problem was. I had a couple people in the room say the same thing. They were people that didn't grab it right here with me, that try to jump on the bandwagon here. But even if you got this thing anywhere here in the first couple minutes of the day, you know, you really got a great entry on it. A great entry on it. I don't think anyone else got this short today as on Friday as good as me. I mean, this was amazing to call this thing. Sometimes the people in my room, I think they think that I am psychic, but I just saw the gap. I saw it the way I saw it on the daily chart, and I had 100% conviction. So it allows me to take the trade. And that's what conviction's all about. It allows you to do stuff that seems incredible, and it works, and it's great. I mean, it's absolutely great when it works. And look how beautiful this was. To be in this thing all the way up here, you know, and get this kind of drop on this, to have this kind of stop on this, to have a 5-cent stop on this, and to get a 50, 60-cent move. Look at that thing. And on the day after it rallied back, you know, on a day that the previous day it rallied like this. This was the day of the earnings. But I knew that it was still down. I knew it was still down. So, you know, the lesson to be learned here is play the trend of the daily chart of the stock. And if you don't have a system that tells you what that trend is, then take my class and learn how to do it, okay? The 26 points are great because they teach you what's happening on the daily chart. And they teach you what the trend is on the chart, all right? Now, you play it intraday, and you play it in the morning on the gap, okay? And if for some reason it fails or doesn't work right on the day, you kill it, you're tight, okay? It should go and follow through by 10 a.m. and keep making lower lows. If it doesn't, you get out of it with a small loss or break even, and you watch it the next day. You don't give up on it. You don't all of a sudden buy this. That's why buying support, which some people would look at this as support, and I don't. Okay, this is not support. This is a red bar in the middle of nowhere. This is not support because this is a bottoming tail with a red bar in the middle of nowhere. All right? This is not support. Look at this chart. This chart's in a downtrend. Okay, this chart's in a downtrend, and I can't wait until this thing breaks under here. All right, and I'll be in this thing, guarantee you. So this is on the radar to have a nice move now. And this is the reason that you have to read charts properly. If you learn how to read charts properly in the daily chart, you will eventually become a successful trader because it's really hard to lose money if you get the direction right all the time. Okay. Now it's key to get the entries correct too, but you know I've made it my business to try to get these things at the top of my shorts every day, and that's why I'm very aggressive in the morning. But that's why the rating system too to help me to give me conviction to get into it in the first couple minutes of the day and put my stop that tight. And it really should do that properly, all right? But I'm so happy and proud of myself that I didn't give up on this thing after this day. I kept my solidarity. I kept my conviction. I kept my bias. I stuck with the rating system, which, by the way, is excellent and works, okay? And this is the kind of thing, this is the reason that I teach. This is what I love to do, and I love trading. I love trading. I love these charts. I love how they work. I love the stuff I figured out. I love it, okay? So if you want to learn how to do it, contact me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com. This chart is lower. We're going to follow it out. We're going to play it out. And one of these days in here, we're going to get a nice trade down in this thing. It's a beautiful chart. Beautiful bearish gap. And can't wait to do it again. This is Melissa at thestockswoosh.com. And have a great night.